Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adrienne and today we're starting a reading vlog like no other. Well, like no other on my channel. I'm going to be reading thrillers all week long. I'm in such a thriller mood. For this video, I couldn't just pick up thrillers that I wanted to read. Instead, I pulled off nearly every unread thriller on my bookshelves. I tried to avoid speculative, sci-fi, or like other strong genres mixed with thriller. And I pulled them all here so that I can pick throughout the week. Whenever I'm done, I can just look over my whole stack and see what do I want to read the most, and also so I could show you what I'm picking from. So let's look at that. So here are all of the books that I pulled off to choose from this week, minus this one. I accidentally started this video without actually starting this video, and I read this entire book. I enjoyed it, gave it 4 stars. And I'm also halfway through All the Dangerous Things by Stacy Willingham, so this is going to be my first read. But after that, here are all of my options. Okay, I'm just going to squeeze in beside my stacks, but 2 very important questions here. 1, if you were here picking a TBR to read this week, which books would you select? But then also, which of these thrillers have you already read, loved, and would recommend for me to read? Let me know because I'm very curious. So we will be referencing back to this stack every time I finish a book. I mentioned that I already started All the Dangerous Things by Stacy Willingham. I'm 130 pages into this book and really enjoying it so far. Our main character, Isabel, or Izzy, her son was taken or disappeared 1 year ago, and in the opening of this book she is giving a keynote speech at a true crime convention. So there is some discussion about true crime and what it means that we're obsessed with true crime and that people are kind of exploiting real life tragedies for their personal entertainment. But also she is trying to keep the case alive because the police have no leads, and you know, true crime fans do solve cases. And we're also flashing back to her past and her childhood. In the past, she as a child was a sleepwalker, which the thriller writers love sleep disorders. And then in present day, she's actually not sleeping at all. She's just doing like the micro sleeping, never getting a full night's rest. I don't remember what it's called, but I saw an episode of House about that. But you know, that gives like a blurriness to the story, because I'm guessing that's going to lead to what really happened sometimes, because what people do with these sleep things. But anyways, this book is good. I'm going to keep reading that this evening. I'm going to move these books somewhere a little less in the way and then continue reading my book because I'm loving it. It's now evening time and I'm on page 252. Absolutely obsessed with this book. So we have our current timeline of Isabel, whose son's been missing for a year, and she's like continuing to investigate, getting some clues sort of, but also there's someone helping her and interesting stuff is happening there. But then we're also getting tales from her childhood. Interesting stuff is happening there. But then also in the present timeline, she's remembering the beginning of the relationship with her husband, her work, stuff like that. And there's interesting stuff happening there. So it's so much fun. It's so perfectly timed, how reveals are happening in each part. I do sometimes feel like I'm guessing the plot right before it happens, but I'm like, I want to find out the second she discovers it, not 5 seconds before. But what a minor complaint. This is just so good. I want to read the whole thing. There are 325 pages. I do need to shower and get ready for bed. It is late, but I'm just loving this so much. I'm just dying to continue reading because I don't think I'll be able to sleep until I finish it. But also I've been spooking myself out a bit. It is nighttime. This book is not scary, but there's like a creepy dread feeling, and I've been like imagining stuff in my apartment and scaring myself. But anyways, loving my book. Stars. Good night. it's the next day now. Last night I finished All the Dangerous Things and it was so good. Such a good thriller. Remember I said I thought I was guessing plot twists? Absolutely not. I was either falling into the trap that Stacey Willingham wanted me to fall into so that I could not guess the real plot twist, or I was following what she wanted me to think so that then when something else was revealed, it was bigger and better and more wonderful. This book is just so well crafted. The way that the reveals are done, the way that the story is told, the pacing, the timelines, so smart. I loved our main character. I loved the way that she doubted herself without it being like a parody of people, which it sometimes feels like whenever there's a sleep disorder or alcoholism or some other like mind altering issues going on in a thriller. Like this one was just done so well, so well. The only critiques I have for this book are one, the title. It's so generic and means nothing to me, although there was a line near the end that said something about a candle flickering in the dark, and I was like, is that a nod to novel 1? Maybe. And the only other negative I have is that this author doesn't have any other books out that I haven't read. She's only written Flicker in the Dark and All the Dangerous Things. This was amazing, so much better than A Flicker in the Dark, and I love it so much. I highly, highly recommend if you're looking for a riveting thriller. The audiobook was good, the physical reading experience was good. 5 stars if you couldn't guess that already. So next I need to pick my next read for today. Well, so I kind of already picked one. I am already into the audiobook of All the Missing Girls by Megan Miranda. I just wanted something to listen to while I was working today, so I did start this. I am 36% of the way into it, maybe 100 pages. I'll figure that out later, but I need to pick a physical read, and I was thinking that I could go with something a little scarier just because I won't be alone while I'm reading this evening, so I won't freak myself out. Which, side note, I read some reviews for All the Dangerous Things and other people agree that this got a little scary, so I wasn't just being sensitive. It was a little scary and it's embarrassing, but innocent little Padfoot, the little black cat, he's so cute, but he's all black and he has these like big owl eyes, I call them. And there were 2 times last night when I was getting ready for bed at like 10 or 11 p.m. that I walked into a dark room and he was just sitting there like bulging eyes looking at me, and I gasped because he scared me 2 times. It's not his fault. Yeah, I was just in a jumpy mood and he's kind of scary looking at nighttime. But anyways, for my physical read, I was thinking something that a lot of people probably would recommend just because it's one of the most recommended books I feel like for thrillers. No Exit by Taylor Adams. This is what I'm going to pick up next. I don't know so much about it, just that we're at a truck stop, it's winter time, and there's a child seemingly held captive or something. Yeah, I'll let you know more about it once I start reading, but I'm excited to get into another book, and I'm also excited at the pace I've started so far and can hopefully continue for the whole week. Hello. I was reading my book today and I accidentally took a nap, but I'm now on page 172 of No Exit, and this book is a heart-pumping read. So our main character, her name is Darby. She was driving to see her mom, who just got diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, but there's a blizzard, her windshield wipers fall off, her car can't make it through the deepening snow. She has to pull into a rest stop. Of course, turned out to be the worst rest stop to ever stop at, and they're snowed in, her and some other people. In the parking lot, she sees that somebody there has a van and there's a child locked in a dog crate. Already not a tone that I love, but I hate in books the being stranded, cell phones dying, no phone service, not even radio service, no charger. She hasn't eaten food all day. She's been drinking Red Bull and coffee. Like, I hate that physical discomfort, which is part of like the effect that the book's having. Hey Padfoot, see, you see how he kind of spooked me out the other day? when I was scared for my book. He's a little spooky looking. It's definitely having an effect, like just making me uncomfortable. I keep saying I don't like it. It's not my favorite type of thriller, but it's like definitely what this book should be doing. Our main character Darby, she's like trying to figure out how to save this kid, and there's just like this tension, people pretending that everything's okay, and it just feels like there's just gonna be a big clash of violence at the end. I am over halfway through. I feel like I can finish it very quickly. I'm flying through it. I finished No Exit by Taylor Adams, and I don't even know what to rate it. So this book, for what it intended to do, 5 stars, well executed. But I don't like this kind of story. It feels very similar to how I felt about Netflix movies recently. Like every movie I click on Netflix is so dark with no reprieve. And I don't like that. I don't like people running for their lives. I don't like people fighting to survive, especially for a long period of time. Now, in a lot of thrillers, there might be a scene or a segment where that happens, but it was a lot of the book. A lot. So it gets violent, it gets gory, again, it's supposed to, and it does a great job at it. But I don't like that kind of book. I did like that there were some actually really funny moments, especially like in the darkness that this book had. To then have like some funny moments was cool, but it's just too dark for me. And at the beginning I was really flying through this, but I slowed down near the end because I was just like, it's too much. Okay, I can only suffer for so long. I'm suffering along with the characters, which I think is my problem. Like I feel like I'm the one fighting for my life, and I was getting exhausted. So I don't know what I'm rating this, but this is not my kind of thriller. Okay, so another update. I've been listening to the audiobook for All the Missing Girls by Megan Miranda for a couple of days, and I am now on page 320. I'm switching over to physically reading, and I'm going to try to finish tonight. There's only 368 pages, so I have a little less than 50 pages remaining, but it is 11:30 p.m. and work starts at 7 a.m. So we'll see how much I can get read. But just briefly, I'll tell you about this book. We're following our main character, Nicolette, who goes back to her hometown in like small town North Carolina, which Megan Miranda loves, small town North Carolina as book settings, which I enjoy. She goes because her dad he's suffering from Alzheimer's, and he is in a care facility, so she's going home to like help pack the house so they can sell it. So her dad starts saying stuff at the center that sounds like it might be related to some crimes or possible crimes that have gone on 10 years ago, or whenever she was in high school. Her best friend Corinne went missing, never to be found. We still don't know what happened to her. Now that Nick is back in town, there's this girl, Annalise, who had texted a police officer, I have some questions about the Corinne case. Can we talk tomorrow or something like that? And then she's missing. Riveting, right? Except I don't love the way this is executed. So the little gimmick that this book has is that you get the beginning, but then you go to like 2 weeks later, and we get what's happening on day 14, and then it goes in reverse. So then day 13, day 12. I think I'm on day 2 right now. And I don't like that gimmick at all, especially because now that I'm on day 2, the things are getting revealed. I mean, they are exciting reveals, but you know that they already happened, and like we just weren't talking about it on day 14. And that's just so strange to me. Like whenever I get a reveal, if the book's still going, I would like to discuss it some more. So there's just crazy stuff going on. It's just okay. It's not Megan Miranda's best work, but I do think it was her first adult thriller, which, as I said the other day, I don't know Megan Miranda's whole book history. Okay, she's got a lot of books, but they seem like different age ranges, but I'm not certain about that. So This is the book that put her on the map though, right? I'm pretty sure that's true. And even though I don't like the gimmick, maybe that's like what got her attention. So I can appreciate that because it brought me all her other wonderful books. But let me go read my 50 pages so that tomorrow we can go dip into the thriller pile and pick my next read. Because let's be honest, that's the best part of the video, right? Is picking the next book. Hello, it's day 5 now. How did we get here so quickly? But last night I finished All the Missing Girls by Megan Miranda. Now, I've been reading Megan Miranda for the last year, loving all of her books, and I thought she could do no wrong, but turns out she can. I do not like this book. A couple reasons why. Our main character is very unlikable, and I can enjoy an unlikable character if it's entertaining that they're unlikable, you know, like they're enjoyable in their issues, or I can sympathize with them, or even if I don't relate to them, I can understand why they are the way that they are. This main character, just not for me, we'll say. I don't like her at all. I don't like anything she did, any way she handled things. She's no bueno. But the main issue I had with the book is the gimmick of the backwards timeline. Starting at day 14, going back to day 1, and then going to day 15 was absolute horrible way to tell the story. And it makes no sense because there's no way on day 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. There's no way on those later days you weren't thinking about the absolutely life-changing discoveries from day 1 and day 2 and day 3. And to feel so casual, cool, calm, collected in the later days after what transpired on day 1, it just made no sense. I didn't like that. I'm glad that this book put Megan Miranda on the map so it could bring me better things. But otherwise, this book was garbage to me. 2 stars. But I am so thoroughly impressed that we're on day 5 and I'm 3 books in. I did not imagine that would happen. I feel like I could read 1 or 2 more books. I actually received some packages that have thrillers in it that I ordered before this vlog started. This is Ascension by Nicholas Binge. This one is a sci-fi thriller though, so I didn't want to read any speculative thrillers in this video, but I'm super excited to read this one. It's giving me Deception Point by Dan Brown vibes, which I love. Okay, don't judge me for liking Dan Brown. And then The Devotion of Suspect X by Kaigo Higashino. I don't know. But this book is the book for the Literally Dead book club in a couple months. So I ordered it from like a used bookstore, so it took a long time to get here. So excited about both of these. Maybe they'll be in my next thriller reading vlog. But receiving the book club pick made me check to see when the live show is for Literally Dead book club for this month. And I realized that it's gonna be on Saturday, which is tomorrow. And I haven't even started the book club pick. So obviously that's gonna be my next read or I'm toast. So the writing retreat is next. So the live show is in 20 hours. So tomorrow at 3 p.m. So I have to read this entire book, which is a little over 300 pages, in the next 20 hours. Right now I have dinner to go to. I'm gonna hang out with my boyfriend. I have a nail appointment tomorrow, but otherwise I'm actually conveniently pretty free, I think. So I'm gonna have to read 300 pages, which I'm a slow reader, okay? I know I've read a lot of books, but it's because I spent so much time reading. So good luck to me once again. And I can hear that it's storming right now and it's time for me to leave, so. But I'm excited to bring this with me. I had wanted to finish the writing retreat before the book club live show, obviously, but now there's only 30 minutes left and I'm less than halfway through. I will admit defeat, but now I have time to update you. So I am on page 130 of the writing retreat and I love it so far. This book follows our main character, Alex. She had a falling out with her best friend, Ren. They were best friends for 8 years. Something happened. She got ousted from the friend group. Ren blocked her. So they are both aspiring writers, authors. They have a mutual author friend who sign them up for a writing retreat hosted by a famous seclusive author named Rosa something. So it's a month-long retreat at this woman's estate, and they and some other women aspiring authors are there for 1 month, and Rosa is running like an intense writing retreat where you have to write an entire novel, and then every day everyone is sharing their novel. They have a word goal, and that's the premise of it. But the house that they're in is like this spooky, probably haunted house. We'll see if that's where it goes. And then Rosa is like weird. She wants to dig into your deepest secrets. She wants to know all your business. It's been a great time. I'm obviously not going to finish it in the next 30 minutes, but I do want to finish it soon. So for right now, I'm just going to keep reading. I haven't even brushed my hair yet today, but I'll worry about that later. Hello. Am I bold enough to vlog from a parking lot? We shall see. But I got to page 200 of the writing retreat. I'm loving it. I'm at a point now where I can't tell you what's happening, but it's finally like thriller stuff is happening in the story. We're not just concentrating on trying to write our books and such. There's drama going on. There's stressful things happening. Up until this point, it didn't feel like a thriller, but it was just like a good time to me, hanging out in this creepy house on a writing retreat. But now it's a thriller. So I did fall asleep at one point for like 10 minutes, and then I felt like groggy and gross because for some reason, if I take a nap in the daytime, it ruins me. But my sister asked me to run an errand for her because she's out of town, and it's like, it needs to be done today. So I'm gonna do that, which means of course I'm gonna stop by Lowe's to see if they have any cool plants out. So I'm just gonna run some errands for now. I brought my book just in case I wanna read while I'm out, but I'm just out getting some fresh air. And then I have a little over 100 pages left that I am gonna finish today. Hello, happy Sunday. I finished The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz. I don't know who I thought I was yesterday. 1, that I thought I could finish the book before book club. 2, that I thought I could finish the book that day. That's a lot of pages to read. So I did read a lot yesterday, but I ended up having to finish it today. I am rating this book probably 4 stars. The first half felt like 5 stars, but once the book started getting a little wild, things were picking up and a lot of this stuff was happening. I know I'm being so vague, but I just didn't love that the story went that direction, even though it was still pretty good, which is why I'm giving it 4 stars. I just didn't love that, and I feel like I could have given it 5 if it stayed more so like the first half of the book, but I really enjoyed it. Now I can finally watch the live show recording since I missed the live show for book club. This is actually the second book club this month where I overestimated how fast I could read and missed book club. So next month I'm gonna do so much better. But I really just love the setting of this book and that there were so many different stories going on, so many different characters involved. It was a great time. I didn't love like the random sexual parts. That's just not my cup of tea. But also the main character would randomly like do something like wash her hair and say shampooing my hair felt kind of sexual. Like, what does that mean? I could live without it. So very fun book, very fun reading vlog. Let's look at what I read. I finished 4 books this week, which I am thoroughly impressed with. Didn't I start this one before the vlog? So I read 4 books in 8 days. That is really fast for me. It's probably my best reading week of the year. So I should totally do another vlog like this because it seems to have helped me read. Should I put them in order of how much I enjoyed them? Here's my ranking from best to worst. I thought All the Dangerous Things was so freaking good, and All the Missing Girls was so not good. If I were to do another week of reading a genre, what genre would you want me to read next? I was also wondering if we should discuss the fact that I have 50 unread thrillers on my bookshelf, but I don't think we're gonna discuss it. So again, let me know of the unread throats that I have, which ones you would recommend or which ones you would choose for yourself. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.